often, guys, we are isolated, especially with that little thing in our hands all the time. Yeah, we're connected through social media, but that's a bit deceiving. That's because it's not really connection, but it's looking at each other face to face, eye to eye. Man, the stuff you said to that person online, you probably wouldn't say in person. 12 years ago, I was like a walking zombie, but I had an outlet. And for whatever reason, I Googled this. Didn't chat GPT it. That wasn't a thing, kids. Wasn't there yet. So I couldn't chat GPT it, but I Googled it. I don't know why I Googled this. I Googled, what's taking the joy out of children's lives? And that's when I discovered that the leading cause of death for children 5 and under is due to contaminated water. What? Dirty water? Diarrhea is causing kids to die? Are you serious? Then I read a statistic that shook me. It said, imagine if you had a jumbo jet plane filled with children 5 and younger. So 600 some odd seats. Imagine that plane filled with children 5 and younger takes off, crashes, leaves no survivors. Now there's a weird phenomenon in the world that when a plane crashes, we hear about it on the news, right? All the time. If a plane crashes, it makes not just headline news or local news, but worldwide news. And if a jumbo jet plane filled with children 5 and under took off, crashed, I feel like the whole world would hear about it. And they'd be asking a lot of questions. Why did that happen? What's going on? How do we stop that? And then imagine that 10 hours later, same thing, another jumbo jet plane filled with children 5 and younger takes off and crashes, leaving no survivors. That is the global water crisis every single day around the world. And that, for whatever reason, stirred something within my heart to say, maybe I can be a part of the solution to that horrible problem. I don't know anything about water. I don't know anyone who suffers from water-related illnesses, definitely not any kids. I live in Orange County. I didn't even know that was a thing. Never once did I ever think about my water like that because I've never had that problem. I had a great privilege of great water treatment facility plants in our area, right? Didn't know. But maybe, I don't know. So in the meantime, I do what I do, and I don't know if you do this, but I decided I'm going to make a business in my mind, and I'm going to put out there. So I created a business plan. And I was like, maybe I could help kids have clean water. How would that work? And so I was like, well, I can't give everyone clean water, but I can at least give one person clean water. Mother Teresa says, if you can't feed 100, feed one. So I was like, well, I can at least give one person clean water. We'll just do it all one at a time. And if I get a bunch of people to do it one at a time, then that's more people getting clean water at a time. And then maybe we can all inspire each other and we can go out. So I created this thing called One at a Time. That was the idea. We can all do one thing, right? We can all help one person. That was the idea behind it. But again, I didn't know anyone suffering from water-related illnesses. I was just like, that's okay, whatever. And so I kind of just put it on the shelf. I created it, I left it there, and then if something happens with it, then so be it. And if it doesn't, and then I don't know. But in the meantime, I'm still a pastor, still have compassion fatigue. I still don't care about people. It's not great, but And then the next day of that experience of doing that and kind of putting things together real quickly, I open up the refrigerator. As I'm opening up the refrigerator, there's a magnet on the refrigerator. The magnet is of a little boy named Brian. And I asked my wife, I said, hey, this kid on the refrigerator. She's like, yeah. I'm like, do we give that kid money? She's like, no, we give the Compassion International money, and that gives him education and healthcare and stuff. And I was like, how much is that? She's like $32 or something like that. And I was like, I'm going to go hang out with him. She's like, what? Where is he? El Salvador? Yeah, I'm going to go there. She's like, seriously? I was like, yeah, I'm going to go down to El Salvador. When? I don't know, but I'm going to go there. That's what I need. Babe, I need to get out of the orange curtain. I need to get out of here. Definitely can't go to San Francisco because that's no good. But I need to get out of here, right? Need to get out of this place. And so I talked to the missions pastor of the church, and I was the youth pastor at the time, and I said, hey, when are you going to El Salvador? He's like, in August. This was like March or something. I was like, cool, can I bring some high school students down? And he's like, yeah, that'd be great. Perfect. Paid trip. Done. Nailed it. So we brought high school kids, and now I'm in El Salvador. It's August, I believe, of 2013. And I'm standing in this community in El Salvador, and there's kids running around. There's a playground over here, and some other people over here. There's some local moms making some pupusas over here. And then all of a sudden, I see this dirt cloud running down the hill. There's like, I'm like, what is that? I hear this, John, hola, John. And I look over and I'm like, hey, that's the kid on my magnet. And he's running all the way up to me. His little 3-year-old takes his arms, wraps it around my leg, squeezes real tight, looks up and goes, hola, John, with a huge smile. And I kid you not, everything within my heart that didn't care was like instantly flooded with love. I picked the kid up and it was like electrifying within me. And I'm like, it was like coming back to life. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I needed. This is so cool. Also, how do you know my name? And we're walking around in his house, and there's a picture of my wife and I in there, and there's letters in my wife's penmanship. My wife's name is Kelsey. It says, love, Sean and Kelsey. And I was like, oh, she's been communicating to him through the organization. He's been receiving it. Makes so much sense. As I'm walking around, I'm talking to his mom. I ask him, hey, is the sponsorship working? She says, this is working great. I said, that's wonderful. That's so good to hear. I said, how's his health? And she said, not good. What do you mean, not good? She said, he has worms. I said, from what? From our water. What I was inspired by 6 months prior or so instantly hit me in that moment. And I felt like God, if I could hear his voice as clear as day, it felt like, take care of my kid. Sean, take care of your kid. And so that led me on a journey of trying to figure out how do I get that little kid clean water. And I'll tell you right now, what's kind of frustrating about that photo is that the whole day he's smiling, but the moment we say cheese, he goes, I don't know what it is. I don't know what that is. But I don't know about how do I get that kid clean water? And so that led me on a journey of trying to figure out what kind of product I could use, what would work best. They have access to water. It was just contaminated. So they didn't need a well. They had access already. That's a part of the global water crisis, is getting access to actual water. But in this area, they didn't need that. They just needed it to be filtered. And so that's where I discovered the bag that you got when you walked into the church today. It's a company called Sawyer. This filter will take out 100% of the bacteria. Now, for the scientists and engineers in the room, 99.9999. Okay, right? Just relax. All of it. You're not getting sick. It's taking it all out. And that's what causes kids to get sick, is the bacteria, typhoid, giardia, cholera. When you go travel around the world, right? And you decide, I'm going to brush my teeth. Whoops. And then all of a sudden, whoops, and you start feeling real bad. Yeah, that's bacteria or a parasite. This filter stops that. You don't suffer from it anymore. And there's children like Brian every single day that is their reality. It is like the norovirus every day, the norovirus or stomach bug, vomiting and diarrhea. No parent likes that. It's not great. It's a bummer, especially if you haven't had it yet either. And you're like, well, the countdown's on. Like all those things, that's not comfortable. We don't like seeing our kids suffer. And every single day, parents are in that reality. They have to give their kid that water because otherwise you die. And yet that water they're drinking could kill them too. What a horrible space to be in as a parent, right? That reality is no good. And yet here's this product that I found and it takes care of it. Oh my goodness, it takes out all the bacteria and it lasts for 10 years or more. What? Sign me up, I'm in. I want it. So I found it. Called the company. Hey, how much are these? Gave me a price. But if you buy 1,000, you get it for this price. I only need 50. What are the odds that you give me the price for 1,000 for 50? Okay, I was like, oh, well, that was easy. Nice, cool. So I bought them. And then, now I have a product. What do? I just take it back to them and just go, here you go, Brian, take it. No, I want to make sure my help doesn't hurt. I don't want to be a white savior or the great white hope or whatever the phrase is. I want none of that. So I called one of my buddies, local guy down in El Salvador. He's been working there for a number of decades and help. And I said, well, how do I do this? How do I give Brian clean water? How can I do it in a way that it brings dignity? How can I do it in a way that doesn't hurt them? But rather they continue to use it and it's sustainable. And he said, Sean, it's pretty easy. Just become friends with the local leaders. Show them how it works. See if they want it. See if they think it's beneficial. If they do, then let them be the ones to choose who to distribute, who to educate, and then create a follow-up system by being friends with them. Oh, I'll do that. I want to be friends with them. That's the goal. So I sat down with them and we did it and it worked. Local people went out, No gringo touched a filter. Success. They went out, passed it out. Boom, Brian got clean water. All the better. And then the rest of the community said, hey, Sean, these work. We like these. Can we get more? I was like, dude, I don't have any more money, so let me figure that out. I don't know. So I'm like, I got to figure that out. Let me go home. In 6 months, I started a 501c3 called One Atta Time with the hope to just get the rest of these people clean water. And then more people asked for it. And then more people asked for it. And then people in Vietnam asked for it. And then people in Colombia asked for it. Then people in Cuba asked for it. Then people in Honduras asked for it. People in Cambodia asked for it. People in Laos. I'm a yes man. I'm in. Let's do it. I don't have the money yet, but we'll figure it out, right? I was told not to worry about that. I feel like a lot of people believe in God about heaven, but they don't believe in him about earth. And I was pretty sure that Jesus is like, don't worry about that part. I'll figure that out. Just keep going. And I'm like, I'm just going to keep going then. And I just kept going, and I just kept going. And now, fast forward to today, we have been able to provide over 65,000 families access to clean and safe drinking water. Isn't that cool? That's a big number. I didn't like, what? How'd that pass? I was asked by director of operations, how many? What? Is that for real? Yeah, it's for real. It really, and here's the thing, this is why I tell people a lot of times, it's like, well, you call yourself one at a time, but it seems like thousands at a time. Here's the reality. We are responsible for what we have been given. And when it comes to how we distribute, our rate and speed is basically this. As long as we can continue to give the same quality of care and distribution and attention as if we did it for one, then that's how many we can do. So if it's 1,000 we can give out, it needs to be the same quality and care as if it was just one. And that is the movement and the speed in which we move as an organization, because every single family matters. And another part of it is all done by local people. It's all done by local people. My job is to build relationships with them because, to be honest, that's what life is about. It's incredible. Too often, guys, we are isolated, especially with that little thing in our hands all the time. Yeah, we're connected through social media, but that's a bit deceiving. That's because it's not really connection, but it's looking at each other face to face, eye to eye. Man, the stuff you said to that person online, you probably wouldn't say in person, but you did. Dang it. My bad, right? Because there's lack of human connection. We are created to be together. Jesus' prayer before he was crucified was that we would be one as he and the Father are one. And in that unity, that is the message of God's love to the world that doesn't know him, is our togetherness, is being here together. And the cool thing is that this morning, together, we will help our friends in La Mosquitia get access to clean and safe drinking water. We're all in this together. Granted, they lack access to material poverty. That does not mean that they're poor and we're rich. It just means they lack part of something that means to be human. We all have poverty. Relational poverty, we're isolated, we're alone, people don't know us, we don't feel loved, seen, accepted. That's relational poverty. Spiritual poverty, we don't have a connection to the divine, we don't have connection to God, we feel a lack of purpose and meaning of something greater than ourselves, right? We have emotional poverty, we have physical poverty, we have ailments and things that are going on. It doesn't allow us to be able to do the things that we want to do. There's so many different avenues of poverty. Material poverty is the one, though, that really everyone thinks in their psyche. That's the thing that makes someone poor. But when we become friends with people in other places that may lack material poverty, realize that they're rich in something that we need as well. And we're all in this together. Loving each other, expressing our gratitude, and being able to do something like this to our friends in La Mosquitia. So I just said La Mosquitia. Where is that? That is in Honduras. It is essentially its own country within Honduras. It is predominantly jungle, so it's very dense. They are indigenous people, meaning that they don't speak Spanish. Some do, but that is not their native language. They have their own language. And for those living in La Mosquitia, they are often kind of pushed aside or ignored or not seen as much. And that is not necessarily on anyone's fault. It's just that it's far away from its civilization within Honduras. It's also, they don't speak Spanish. And also it's dangerous there because of the jungle. And because you cannot smuggle drugs through El Salvador, so Central America, El Salvador, Honduras, right? You have to get the drugs up, you got to go through there or through boat. If you want to take it through land, this is not for those who are trying to smuggle drugs. I'm just trying to give you information. Can't go through El Salvador anymore. It doesn't work. So you have to go through La Mosquitia, which is the jungle. And as a result of that, it's not safe because you have people trafficking drugs and trafficking people in that area. Thank be to God, we have created great relationships with the indigenous people, also the people who are in charge of the narcotic movement of things are aware of us and are in good standing, so we are not unsafe. They recognize the work that we're doing. We get a free pass to do the work and not have any, be in any weird situation. We have to build relationships with everyone so that we can do the work that we need to get done so that everything is safe and so that that child gets clean water. And right now, they desperately need it. Thousands and thousands of families need access to clean drinking water in La Mosquitia. And this morning, you guys get to be a part providing 300 families access to clean drinking water. So thank you for that. On my bottom of my heart, thank you for that.